Braves, looking for his league-leading 12th win and a chance to state his case to be the National League starting pitcher in next week's Midsummer Classic. It has turned out a beauty in Atlanta tonight, a beautiful night for baseball. If you're in the area, come on down and join us. We got room for you as we get set for Game 3 of this series between the Braves and the Colorado Rockies. And all season long, Atlanta Braves baseball on Peachtree TV and Fox Sports South, being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price. And good evening, everyone. Joe Simpson and Ron Gant with you tonight. Glad you're with us. And I'm glad to be here, too, because that means we get to watch Jair Jurgens pitch.
Well, Jair has just been phenomenal for the Atlanta Braves this year. And let's take a look at his last start against Baltimore. It was his second complete game of his career and his first career shutout. He went 9, of course, striking out 8, only walking 1 and giving up 1 hit. The thing with Jair right now, he has developed a really good changeup, which offsets that fastball. And to me, I think he is the best pitcher in the National League. And, Joe, we talked about him possibly starting the All-Star game. As you take a look at some of his numbers and ranks, I think Bruce Bochy is going to have to make a huge consideration to start him for the National League on Tuesday.
He has certainly deserved that assignment if he gets it, Ron, and maybe tonight we'll put the capper on that. We certainly hope so as he takes on the Colorado Rockies, a team he is 4-1 against in his career. Also a guy that last night showed up, Dan Uggla. The real Dan Uggla was in the ballpark last night. It was fun to watch. We'll tell you about what a good night he had last night and maybe things to come right after this. By Delta Airlines and by Hyundai. Joe and Ron back with you at Turner Field, and again, we've got room for you if you want to come on by and watch the Braves ace Jair Jurgens pitch tonight. In fact, we'll hold the game up for you until you get here, so come on down. Hey, how about Dan Uggla last night? Maybe a key that we saw early in the ballgame was actually a bases on balls.
Well, you're right, Joe. The real Dan Uggla showed up last night, and a couple things that I saw last night, the walks. He had 2 walks on the night, and these were nasty pitches that he laid off of. And, of course, he hit that solo shot that gave the Braves a little bit of insurance. But the most impressive thing that I saw about Dan Uggla last night, against his former teammate, Matt Lindstrom, he gets a nasty pitch on the outside corner of the plate, and he drives it to that right center field gap. So if he can continue that train of thought at the plate, look for him to have a big second half of the season.
Well, don't think that Dan Uggla doesn't get it, because today on a radio interview, I heard him ask, what do you think about the boos you're getting at Turner Field? He said, hey, I'd boo me too. I have high expectations of myself. So he's been trying real hard to get back on track. Maybe last night was a sign of things to come. Well, the Braves have taken the first 2 games of this series against the Colorado Rockies. They've won 12 of their last 15 ball games, getting production from everybody up and down the 25-man roster. Tonight, Game 3. Let's hope that they keep it going tonight. Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Checkers, and by Georgia Power. Fans still making their way into their seats as Julio Lugo and his family get reacquainted. Remember, he just got called up, was signed about a month ago by the Braves, so he's happy to see his family in Atlanta, and the Braves are happy to have him here. Here's tonight's weather conditions: 83 degrees, which is very respectable by recent standards. 60% humidity, a little breeze blowing out toward right field. And, of course, the forecast, as it is always at this time in Atlanta, a chance of some pop-up showers as we go along tonight. And as we do that, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup for Jim Tracy and the Colorado Rockies. Remember, they're missing Carlos Gonzalez in center field and Troy Tulowitzki, their star shortstop. So they have Charlie Blackmon leading it off. Then Jonathan Herrera at shortstop, taking the place of those 2 gentlemen. Todd Helton's at first base, then Ty Wigginton, Seth Smith in right field. Mark Ellis is at second base. Ian Stewart is 3 for 50 on the year. He's at third base. Matt Pagnozzi, the nephew of Tom Pagnozzi, the veteran catcher who used to be with the Cardinals, will do the catching tonight, and Aaron Cook, a veteran pitcher, is on the mound. Jim Tracy's ball club is 41-45. They're in third place out west. They've lost 3 in a row and find themselves now 6.5 games back of the first place Giants. And Chipper Jones leads the Braves onto the field.
And tonight, Jair Jurgens on the mound for Atlanta.
Yeah, the 6'1", 200-pound Jair Jurgens will take his Major League best 1.89 ERA to the mound tonight as he tries to become the first 12-game winner in the National League.
And the defense behind him tonight. Outfield same as usual in left and center, but Eric Hinske gets a start in right field tonight. Freddie Gonzalez said he just wanted to get him some at-bats, keep him sharp. Jones, Gonzalez, Ugla, and Freeman from third to first, and Brian McCann, believe it or not, a surprise to all of us, physically able to get back there and catch tonight after getting nailed last night with a foul ball. We're very proud of him. The umpires for tonight's game: Corey Blazers behind the plate, Scott Berry at first, Wally Bell at second, Laz Diaz at third. We've seen Blazer behind the plate before this year already, and it wasn't that long ago. It was the last game of the series against the Texas Rangers. He was calling balls and strikes, and oddly enough, starting pitcher for the Braves that night, Jair Jurgens, who picked up his 9th win on that occasion, so he has seen Jurgens work. Braves are 51-36, a season high 15 games over 500. They're in second place, still 4 games back of the Phillies. They have a 4.5 game lead right now in the wild card, if you are prone to look at such things this time of year. They've won 7 out of 8 and 12 of their last 15 games. And they are improving day by day on their home record, something we talked about at the beginning of this homestand, that they needed to play a little better at home, and they have ramped it up. They are now 26-18 here at Turner Field.
You mentioned winning those 12 out of the last 15 games, and during that period, the Atlanta Braves starting rotation is 12-1 with a 2.29 ERA.
Gotta like that, don't you?
Score first.
Score first. That's been a key, too. Give those pitchers a run or two to work with and watch them go. Charlie Blackmon's out of Warwick, Georgia, about 150 miles south of Atlanta, a little south of Cordele, Georgia. And he's out of Georgia Tech. He is 1 for 9 in this series and drove in a run last night. He'll lead it off, and Jurgens ready to go to work. And the first pitch of the ball game. That was a strike call.
I asked Brian McCann before the game, did that hurt as much as it looked? And he said, no, Ron, much, much worse.
I believe it.
Good to see him back there tonight.
To second. To Hopper to Ugla. 1 out. Jurgens coming off that brilliant outing against Baltimore. The 1-hit, complete game shutout, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that unless you want to put a 0 under the H.
He'll throw a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer. He's working in that great changeup now. Good hard slider.
This is Jonathan Herrera, who's had a good series coming in for Troy Tulowitzki. He's 3 for 6 since Tulowitzki got hurt. Switch hitter. One and one to him.
I remember the first time I talked to Jair, and, you know, it seemed like right away this guy had a great head on his shoulders. It seemed like he had already been in the big leagues 5 years. It was very impressive, that first talk with him.
Very mature. To right field, hit pretty well. Hinske, though, almost in his tracks, has got it. 2 down.
Showed you in the open some of his numbers and batting average against with runners in scoring position, and I've talked to him about it before, and he always says, you know, when I get myself in trouble, Ron, he goes, I don't panic. I don't try to strike guys out. He goes, I just let my movement do the work for me and just pitch to contact.
And he's done a great job of that all season long. Todd Helton stands in. He's had some good luck against Jurgens in the past. 7 for 18. 2 for 8 in this series. More homers and RBIs right now than he had all last season, which was a rough year for him.
Todd is in. Excuse me, Joe. Todd is in. One of the finalists in on that final vote. Out of 5 contestants, he's named one of them, so it's a fan vote.
Yeah, if you're a Todd Helton fan, he'd appreciate you voting for him. 1 and 2. Michael Morse, one of those candidates from the Nationals. Ian Kennedy from Arizona. And I can't think of anybody else.
Kennedy's having a really good year.
Ethier and Victorino. Thanks, Hal. The other 2 nominees. 2 and 2 the count to Helton. Todd's from Knoxville, but he makes his home now in Golden, Colorado. 2 hopper to short. That pitch got in on Helton's hands, and he fought it off, and a 1-2-3 start for Jair Jurgens. Nothing new there. Braves coming to bat. The first, here's Freddie Gonzalez's starting lineup tonight for Game 3 of this series. Jordan Schaefer, Alex Gonzalez, and Brian McCann here in the first inning. Chipper will bat cleanup. He's hit in 4 straight. Then Freddie Freeman. Eric Hensky with a start in right field tonight. And Dan Ugla will try to continue his good ways from last night. Nate McLeod bats 8th, and then Jurgens in the 9-hole against veteran Aaron Cook.
Aaron Cook, the sinker slider guy. The Braves are going to see a lot of sinkers against him tonight. And he's still looking for his first win since September 8th of last year. Suffered a broken right ring finger in March during spring training. Didn't come off the DL until June 8th. Had a pretty good outing his last outing. He went 6, only giving up 1 run. But after he left the game, the Rockies bullpen blew it for him.
Yeah, that was a better sign for him, because before that he was getting rocked. 1-1 lifetime against Atlanta. Jordan Schaefer leads off for the Braves. That evens a count, 1-1. Jordan was out early taking some extra batting practice, trying to hit the ball the other way again. Get back into that groove. He's up off the end of the bat, too. And he goes the other way, but slices it foul.
Yeah, that's the scouting report. You're going to get sinkers away, and I had a chance to chat with Jordan during batting practice, and he said, all I'm going to work on is going up the middle and going the other way. And for a young guy, that's what you have to do, make those adjustments.
And that's all the Braves want him to do. He'll run into one once in a while and drive it, but going the other way and up the middle will help him get on base a little more. And he hits that one to right center. And the run Blackman, and he can fly, but he can't get that one. It'll go all the way to the wall, and watch Jordan go. He can fly too. And he's going to have a stand-up triple to start the ball game. Good things happen when you're trying to go the other way.
Absolutely. I mean, just because you're thinking the other way doesn't mean you're going to go the other way. But this ball's hit in the middle of the field because that's what his thinking is. And there's a lot of hits out there the opposite way. But if a pitcher makes a mistake you're in the right hitting position with that train of thought. And he just drives this ball in the right center gap. They had him played the opposite ways.
Yes, they did. Braves 37-8 when they score first. They're in a good spot here to get on the board early. Infield back, Alex Gonzalez, the batter. And he singles to right field on the first pitch he sees, and the Braves are indeed up 1-0. Alex goes the other way. Good sign for him, too. 25th RBI, and that gets us to our Sunshine House leaderboard, which is teams that score first in their record. Braves have the best one. 37-8, and that was coming in.
Well, you can see that scouting report coming to fruition already for the Atlanta Braves. And first two hitters of the game going the opposite way, using the middle of the field.
I remember Chipper Jones telling me a couple of years ago, Ron, that Aaron Cook had as good a sinker as anybody in baseball. He ranked him up there with anybody.
Well, right now he's third. He's third. I think Derek Lowe is first in ground ball to fly ball ratio. So, yeah, one heck of a sinker.
Brian McCann ahead in the count, 1-0. Max 2 for 8 in the series. Lately, Cook's sinker hasn't been sinking in that 85, 86 mile an hour velocity. He's not getting it done. And he falls behind McCann, 3-0.
Yeah, Brian told me during batting practice, he said, I know I'm going to get sinkers. And I asked him, I said, you know, I used to be one of those guys, if I faced one of those turbo sinker guys, I used to get a little lower in my stance. And he goes, yeah, I do too. He says, I don't have the same stance against every guy out there.
See if he's green lighted here. Took a strike, 3-1. This guy's also induced more double plays than anyone, with the exception of 3 other pitchers. He's 4th all time in the last 5 years in double plays. And the Rockies have an odd setup for him right now with McCann up there. They got a shift on. With Ellis way over in the hole. That must mean Herrera's going to take all the throws at second. Full count.
They get that sharp ground ball to third. And he's going to have to wait till the shortstop gets over to the bag.
Here's the setup with Herrera almost directly behind second base.
He's almost out in the outfield grass also.
Gonzalez is going. Pitch is swung on and lined to right center field. That's going to get down for extra bases. Gonzalez is at third. He'll be waved home. And Brian McCann into second with a stand-up RBI double. It's 2-0 Atlanta.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Brian McCann just stays right in the strike zone with this pitch. And this is a sinker, but I think Aaron Cook wanted that to be a little bit further down in the strike zone. And about belt high, if you make mistakes with Brian McCann, as hot as he's been all season long, he's going to hit it hard somewhere.
Still nobody out, and Chipper Jones, the batter, he's hitting 4 straight. He was 1 for 4 with a double last night. Sat out game 1 of this series. Hitting .256 with 7 homers. He is also the subject of our SunTrust Solid Performance with his numbers against Aaron Cook. Just under a .350 average against him. sliced the other way, but that'll be out of play. Here's something to note on these 2 runs in the first inning, at least 2 runs, and still working, is the fact that coming into this game, when the Braves have scored more than 1 run when Jair Jurgens is in the game, in other words, when he has 2 or more runs scored for him while he's still pitching, he's 11-0 this year. He's been shut out twice and given up, or had 1 run scored for him the other time. Chipper. I don't know where they got him, but I sure hope it wasn't on the knee.
Chipper doesn't wear any guards or anything, so it sounds like it got him pretty flush. Hard sinker in and ankle-ish area.
Ankle or foot. Yeah, ankle. Oh.
That'll leave a mark.
Might leave a big old blown up mouse on there too if it broke a blood vessel.
Well, the good thing is he probably can't feel his knee now.
A good point. Very good point. I asked him today about his knee from last night. I said, did it feel better given the shot and everything? He said, no, not really. He said, I just felt like I didn't have all my mobility at third base. I was okay running, but just didn't have any quick lateral movement. So this will really help that.
Yeah. It seemed like he was moving okay last night.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Pretty nice plays over there.
Right back in the same place goes the veteran pitcher, and it's 2-2.
Aaron Cook knows that these guys are going to try to go the opposite way against him. I'm sure he knows what the numbers are that Chipper has against him, and trying to change it up a little bit and come inside.
Well, the Braves just need a homer here. They will have already hit for the cycle as a team out of the first 4 batters. Full count. There's the red hot Freddie Freeman on deck. McCann at second, nobody out. 2-0 Atlanta. A hard hit, 1 hopper to Ellis will get McCann to third, and Ellis took that one off the midsection. Chipper really gimpy going down the line.
It's a very good at bat by Chipper Jones after taking that run off the ankle, but this is getting the job done here. You want to, if you're Chipper Jones, you want to get that runner to third base, get an opportunity to score another run. Pulls it over there to second base. Good job, good at bat.
Get some ice on that right away. Runner third, 1 out. Infield comes halfway in for Freeman. Our Delta Airlines on deck hitter is Eric Hinsky, who has some great numbers against the Rockies in his career. Freeman. Oh, a nice stop there by Ian Stewart. Robs Freeman of a base hit and an RBI. Outstanding play by the Rockies' third baseman to save a run. So it'll be left to Eric with 2 out.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. So far this series, Freddie Freeman was 3 for 6 with 3 homers. I thought he had another RBI and a single there. That was a nice play.
Got robbed. Freddie Gonzalez said he just wanted to get Hinsky in there to keep him sharp, get him 4 at-bats tonight. Nothing wrong with Jason Hayward. 0-2.
Hinsky's never faced Aaron Cook, but again, I'm sure he's seen some videos, some tape, and studied that scouting report.
I'm sure he got a first-hand scouting report from Chipper and McCann, who faced him quite a bit. Oh, and 2. That's foul. The leadoff triple by Jordan Schaefer set this inning up. Gonzalez singled him in. McCann on a full count doubled in Gonzalez from first. A ball and 2 strikes to Eric, whose average is at .255, but he's hitting .274 against right-handed pitching. 7 of his 8 homers against righties. And he lines one to right for a 2-out RBI single. Eric Hinske with some clutch hitting, his 21st RBI, and the Braves are up 3-0.
Eric Hinske is as professional as it gets as a hitter. Talk about he gets here early, he watches video. One of the best pitch hitters that the game's ever seen, coming off the bench and taking advantage of his spot start. But I tell you, you got to love having a guy like Eric Hinske. He's just so professional. Great attitude day in and day out. Can absolutely flat out hit. A lot of these young guys can learn a lot from him.
Always ready, too. Bob Apodaca was out to talk to Cook, who's left 2 or 3 pitches up in his first inning. And here's Dan Uggla. Walked twice last night, then hit a long homer, then hit a double to right center. Takes that one in the dirt.
Joe, we both watched him in batting practice today, and you mentioned that you thought maybe it was one of his best batting practices of the season so far. And I think you were right. I mean, he was just hitting balls straight away center field, right field. It looks like he's changed his mental approach at the plate.
He was squaring up everything and using the whole park. That was what was nice to see. Good pitch there from Cook, one of his better sinkers, and it's 1-1. Aaron Cook's out of Hamilton, Ohio. He's 6'3", 215. 32 years old. He was a second-round pick by the Rockies back in '97. Trying to get his 70th win as a Rocky. He is 69 and 61 in his career, and the 69 wins are the most in their history. Two and 1 to Uggla. Hard hit. Herrera with a diving stop. He'll go to second and get Hinske by a step. Boy, if it weren't for the good defense turned in by the left side of the infield, Aaron Cook would still be out there. But the Braves put 3 on the board in the first. Something to work with
for Hinske. And here comes
A 3 spot on the board to support Jair Jurgens as we go to the second inning. Here's our Home Depot know-how question of the game. Tonight it comes from Kellen from Columbiana, Alabama, who wants to know, should Jair be the starting pitcher for the National League in the All-Star game?
I certainly think he should be.
Kellen, I vote yes. If I had Bruce Bochy's phone number, I'd call him.
He's pitching on the right night to be able to pitch on Tuesday.
Yep, this will be his last start before the break. He will not pitch in Philadelphia, which is a shame in some regard. But tonight's win counts just as much if the Braves can hang on to the lead. Ty Wigginton leads off the second. He's looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 8, hitting .254.
Well, according to Roy Halladay's start, if he was to pitch in the All-Star game, it would be on 3 days rest. So that's something that you have to consider as the manager of the National League.
Yep, he'll go Friday against Atlanta at Citizens Bank Park against Brandon Beachy. In the air to center and hit pretty well. Jordan Schaefer on the run. Makes the catch over the shoulder right at the edge of the track. Jordan's been turning in some good defense in center field.
Yeah, I noticed he gets really good first steps out there. Reads the ball off the bat very well. That's something I'm sure he's worked on his whole minor league career so far, but really steady out there in center field. He can run them down.
Seth Smith is the batter for Colorado, 2 for 6 in the series, hitting .302. 2 for 11 in his career against Jair with a homer. Jurgens will work both sides of the plate. He's had excellent command. He went through a little bit of a spell where he was unhappy with himself over walking a few people. He walked 4 at San Diego, but had a lot of runs to work with. He walked 5 in a game against the Mets and lost that one back on June 14th. That was his last loss. He's won 3 in a row. And now ahead of Smith, 1 and 2. And he's got the stars on the back of his jersey up there on the neck, commemorating his selection. Two and 2.
And the Rockies do not like coming to Turner Field. They've dropped 21 of their last 27 games here in Atlanta.
Braves have the best winning percentage against Colorado of any team, and it all got started in their first year when the Braves went 13-0 against them as an expansion team.
Colorado generally a second half ball club. They always make that big run at the end there. I expect for them to do it again. They're going to have some pitching now.
To left field, and right there is Nate McLouth. 2 down for Mark Ellis. Now Jim Tracy's done a great job with this club since he took over after Clint Hurdle was fired. Steady hand, calming influence, knows the game. Mark Ellis 3 for 7 in the series. That's been a nice addition to their ball club. He's been hot since they got him from Oakland.
3 for 4 last night and scored a run.
Good off-speed pitch there, looked like a breaking ball. 1-1.
We were talking about Jim Tracy taking over for Clint Hurdle in 2009.
First a fly ball to center. This should end the inning. Talk about Jim Tracy some more when we come back. 6 up and 6 down for Jair Jurgens.
Jamieson Inn, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction nationwide for 6 straight years. Experience all the comfort and amenities you expect at an unexpectedly low price. Jamieson Inn. Live large, pay less.
Braves up 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. And here's tonight's Jamieson Inn upcoming schedule. Final game of the homestand and of this 4-game series with the Rockies tomorrow afternoon. Juan Nicasio, 3-1 for the Rocks. Will go against Tim Hudson, looking for his 8th win of the year. Ron and I'll have it for you. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock. Nate McLeod leads off the second inning. 1 for 5 in the series. To third, Stewart was in on the grass. Smothers a short hop. 1 away for Jurgens, who's 3 for 33 on the year. Jim Tracy, let's go back to what you were talking about with him.
Well, in 2009 with the Rockies, Clint Hurdle, before Jim Tracy took over, he started out that season. They were 18-28 when they made the change. Jim Tracy takes over and they go 74-42, and they end up winning the wild card that year. So, fantastic job by Jim Tracy.
That's a great turnaround. Strike to Jurgens. But if you mention Clint Hurdle, you got to talk about the job he's doing in Pittsburgh. They're 4 games over 500, just a game and a half out of first behind the Cardinals in the Central Division. They've won 3 in a row. Jurgens to first. Helton, tough play, but Cook keeps his foot on the bag. 2 down. Then back to the top of the order, and Jordan Schaefer, who got it all going in the first with a leadoff triple.
Back in 2001, spent half a season with Colorado, and Clint Hurdle was my hitting instructor. And being around him it was a pleasure. No nonsense guy, great attitude about the game. So it's not a surprise to me what he's doing with that club in Pittsburgh.
Jordan shows bunt and takes a strike, giving his pitcher a chance to get back to the dugout. Catch his breath. Yeah, and Hurdle was the hitting coach last year for the Texas Rangers as they went to the World Series. Up the middle, might get through. Diving stop by Herrera. He'll never throw him out. And another hit up the middle for Jordan Schaefer. He's already 2 for 2.
That is exactly what he was doing in batting practice. He was just taking everything, and you tell the guy that's throwing you batting practice, which I believe was Terry Pendleton at the time, keep everything away from me, and I'm just going to try to hit the ball the other way and go up the middle, and it's carried over into tonight's ball game. And
the whole point of it is that he can run. So he can hit a lot of ground balls like he just hit that are caught by infielders, and they can't throw him out.
Well, coming up through the minor leagues, the guys that can run, like myself and leadoff hitters, they used to find us if we hit the ball in the air, because you want to use your speed. You have more of a chance to get on base when you hit the ball on the ground when you're a speed guy.
Alex Gonzalez had an RBI single to right field, his first time up, to get Schaefer in. Jordan has 10 stolen bases. 2 outs here. Might see him go. And he draws a throw.
Let's see. The other thing I always talk about with speed is some of it sometimes never shows up in the box score, but you get pitcher like Aaron Cook out there, and he turns his attention to Jordan Schaefer at first, and next thing you know, he throws one right down the middle, and that hitter at the plate always benefits from that.
Aaron Cook has not been through his career without some adversity. Early in his career one year, he was on the DL with blood clots in both lungs. Had to have a part of a rib removed because of that circulation problem that was causing that. One and one to Gonzalez. Last year, he was on the DL late in the year with a bruised toe, and then when he came back to pitch, Joey Votto hit a line drive off his leg and broke a bone in his leg, knocked him out for the rest of the year. And then he comes to spring training and gets his hand caught in a door and breaks the ring finger on his pitching hand. I'd say things weren't going his way lately.
He can walk around in full body armor.
And a lot of attention to Schaefer.
Big lead over there.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a walking lead too and had to make him stop. Well, I thought Pendleton was going into pinch run there for a second. Out of play. Oh, what a catch by man. Barehanded, one-handed, no bobble. Nice play.
Yeah, who needs a glove nowadays?
Woo. 1-2 the count on Alex Gonzalez, who snapped an 0 for 12 with that base hit in the first.
That's all you're looking for as a hitter if you're struggling. It's just that little bit of confidence and being able to get that runner in from third on the base hit. Makes you feel good.
Big lead for Jordan. Not going. And Alex trying to guard the plate and go the other way. Fouls it off. Best fastball so far from Cook. That was 90.
Yeah, and again, you know, Aaron Cook, he can't live up there. He's a sinker ball pitcher, and his MO is down in the strike zone. Talking about Jordan Schaefer over at first, getting a huge lead, and I'm sure Aaron Cook's paying more attention to him than what he's supposed to be throwing.
Hard hit, one hopper. Herrera handles that one. He'll go the short way to end the inning. And another hard hit ball for the Atlanta batter. 2 innings in the books. Braves up by 3. Time for our AT&T U-verse trivia question. Tonight's question: when was the last time the National League had a catcher and pitcher start the All-Star game from the same team? With hopes, of course, that Jair gets to be the starting pitcher. We already know that McCann will be the starting catcher. I saw a note on this the other day, and now I can't remember what it was or who it was. But maybe we'll have a chance to conjure it up. Ian Stewart will lead off for the Rockies in the third inning. Stewart, Pagnazzi, and Cook, the bottom third of the order. Jurgens has set down the first 6 without a strikeout. How about that number? 2 for their last 44 against him. It's almost like Ian Stewart. He's 3 for 50 on the year. Got sent down April 19th because of his early season struggles and just called back up yesterday. Hit 275 at Colorado Springs. Excuse me, hit 237 at Colorado Springs. 11 homers, though. Drove in 28. Looked like he had it going a little bit again. Two and one. Jair also working on a streak of 14 straight shutout innings.
Stewart said that he made some adjustments at the plate. When he went back to the minor leagues, he worked with Rene Latchman. He talked about lowering his hands and spreading his stance out a little bit, and it's very visible.
Got a hitter's count there, but missed a good pitch to hit. Full count. This guy's coming off some good years back to back. At 43 homers combined in 09 and 2010. That's third most among National League third basemen. Sends that one skyward, shallow right. Ugla goes out, and he'll put it away. And with one away, it's now time for the Braves Steal of the Week, the Braves official weekly ticket deal. Check this out. Go to Braves.com/steal between now and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to get Golden Moon club level tickets for 48% off. And if you're not sure about that, that's almost half off, folks. Off the regular price. The Golden Moon club level features air-conditioned concourses, premium food, and beverage options. You can't go wrong there. Visit Braves.com/steal now. Kind of like that.
Sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Half off, right at half off for club level tickets. Mercy.
You can even sit in the air conditioning.
Yeah. Matt Pagnazzi, the batter. Called up from AAA Colorado Springs. He's the nephew of Tom Pagnazzi, the former Cardinal catcher. Four for 15 since he got called up. I don't blame Brian McCann for turning a little sideways on those balls in the dirt. It's okay.
Tom Pagnazzi, one of my teammates in St. Louis, a very good receiver of the ball behind the plate. Always called a great game for the pitchers.
Strike two call.
Didn't hit for much, but really good teammate.
I'm sure this guy learned a lot from his uncle. So breaking ball missed, full count. That's the pitcher, Aaron Cook, on deck. got him looking. Not sure what he was looking for there, but a 91 fastball at the knees. That's the first strikeout for Jair.
Yeah, good pitch here by Jair. Just went right after him. And I know, kid, it's tough hitting in that 8 slot with the pitcher hitting behind you. Get your wires crossed up very easily.
Aaron Cook 1 for 9 since he's been activated. Just missed that one, 0-1.
I don't want to jinx him, but a lot about this pitching staff. But defensively, the Braves haven't made an error in 72 straight innings.
Yeah, 8 games. That's a season high. It's a good combination when you're getting outstanding pitching. Braves are beginning to score more runs. And the pitchers know they got some runs to work with, and that defense behind them makes their job a whole lot easier.
5th in fielding percentage with a .985. It's in the National League.
Struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jair. Back-to-back to end the 3rd. He's set down 9 in a row. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd. By McDonald's and by Toyota. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, time for tonight's Hardee's game summary. Good start for Atlanta tonight, Ron.
Yeah, the Braves got off to a good start. We mentioned the record when they score first, but Jordan Schaefer at the top of the order already has 2 hits on the night, and Jair Jurgens has been what we expected tonight. Good sinker, good changeup, and pretty much on his game.
Let's see if the offense can add to what they already have. A 3-run first. McCann had an RBI double and scored a run in the 1st inning. The RBI was his 48th of the year. Leads the team in that category. Some more good news for Atlanta. Martin Prado went out on his rehab assignment tonight. His first game for Gwinnett at Charlotte. And we are told that he's 0 for 1 so far in his first at bat. Has been out since June 8th, right out a month.
Yeah, he don't want to waste them all down there. He'll get a couple here and there, and then he'll be ready to go.
But you know what it's like. It doesn't matter where you are, you want to get a hit.
That's true.
McCann lofts one into shallow right center. That's going to get down for a hit. Bryan's 2 for 2. start to the third inning. Chipper had a good out in the first inning when he moved McCann over to third base and set him up for a run scored on a 2-out single by Hinske.
Joe, you mentioned this offense coming around, and it's good to see that they're putting these innings together without having to hit the long ball. They did, hit a lot of long balls so far this year. That's how they scored most of their runs. But lately, they've been putting some rallies together and just getting base hits to drive those guys in.
Yeah, very good sign, I think, Ron. .92 fastball from Aaron Cook. That evens the count. Cook so far on the year in his first 5 starts, he has not given up a homer. Tough to elevate that sinker. However, coming into this game, left-handed hitters batting .380 against him, right-handers .283.
It's pretty high for right-handed hitters.
Yeah.
You may expect some of the lefties to get some hits against him, but I think he'd be in the low 200s against right-handers.
Another thing unusual for him, he had more walks than strikeouts entering play tonight, too. Slice down the line and deep. On the run, Wigginton. That ball is gone. Home run, Chipper to the opposite field. It just cleared the yellow line. Ty Wigginton standing out in left field like he can't believe it. Woohoo! 5-0.
Well, if there's anyone that knows how to hit Aaron Cook, it's Chipper Jones. We showed you his numbers against him earlier. You have to be awfully, awfully strong, Joe, to hit this ball out the opposite field on a line right around that foul pole area there. And that's just a great piece of hitting. So balanced at the plate, so strong.
You're right about that balance too.
Standing next to Chipper, you don't realize how big he is until you stand right next to him. He's 6'4". It's about 225. He is just solid.
Freddie Freeman goes the other way. And Ian Stewart can't glove that one. And he's got a double. And the left-handers continue to beat up on Aaron Cook. And some more good hitting by Freddie Freeman. He's got his 19th double.
Yeah, Freddie, and this is something I've noticed about the last month or so is he's taking those pitches away and he's just driving them away. He's giving what the pitcher taking what the pitcher gives him and staying within himself and driving the ball the opposite way in the gaps. And every time they make a mistake he can turn on it, but his train of thought is I'm just going to drive the ball in the gaps.
I don't know if that broken finger affected Aaron Cook this much, but he doesn't even look like the same guy.
A lot of pitches up in the strike zone.
Hinske the batter. Drove in a run with a 2-out single in the first. For Chipper, his opposite field homer, his 8th of the year, and he's up to 46 RBIs. That's the 997th extra base hit of Chipper Jones' career.
Just as natural as they come, Chipper Jones is.
Oh, and 2 to Hinske. And he'll get the runner to third. Nice piece of hitting. Helton will win the foot race to the bag. But a nice job behind in the count of getting that runner over to third base.
It's the little things, Joe, and that's the reason why the Braves are putting these innings together is because they're getting those runners over to third with no outs. And getting them in from third when they're getting the opportunities. And again, we talk about Eric Kinsky, that hole at bat, that whole approaches. He wanted to give himself up and get that guy to third, and he got the job.
He just joined us. Dan Ugla hit another rocket his first time up, but a good play by Herrera robbed him of a hit, turned it into a force play. He ducks out of the way of that hook.
Now, you see how he took that pitch? He took it like that because he didn't see it. And again, we've talked about him in that pull mode. And when you don't have both eyes on the ball and you're peeking at it, then you're gonna take pitches like that when you really don't see them.
Gets ahead 2-0.
Instead of just,
I know what you're talking about, but for the fans at home, basically you're saying that his right eye is looking at the bridge of his nose and not at the pitcher.
Absolutely. Get that chin a little bit more square with that pitcher, looking towards the pitcher, and you can see it with both eyes. That first pitch, instead of ducking out of the way because he didn't see it, if he would have saw that pitch, all he would have done was just turn his shoulders back towards the catcher to get out of the way. But the way he took it just looked like he couldn't pick it up out of his hand.
Let's see if he gets a green light here. Good patience there. That was a pitcher's strike. That's just 3-1. Like he might have been swinging away. Infield in. Braves up 5-0. Full count.
I'm sure Dan was looking for a fastball there, but in this situation, you want to pitch in your zone, and that was more of a pitcher's pitch on the outside corner. And Aaron Cook knows he's trying to turn it loose, so he's going to stay away from it.
Freeman at third, full count. There's that breaking ball again, and he's ducking out of the way. First and third now, and one out for Nate McLeod. It's the first walk for Cook. McLeod robbed of a hit on another good play by Ian Stewart, who's turned in a couple of them tonight already. No one warming up in the Colorado pen. Stopped by Pagnazzi. 1-0. They're getting after it down in Florida already. Phillies on top of Florida 4-2, with the Marlins still batting in the bottom of the third against Kyle Kendrick. Phillies have a day off tomorrow and then open up the series at home on Friday with Atlanta. Chopper to second. They'll try to turn two. The relay to first. In time. Inning over. Nice turn by the middle infielders for the Rockies. Braves settle for the 2-run homer by Chipper, his 8th of the year. And we go to the 4th. They're up by 5. stuff, the low price. And a good night all around. Beautiful sunset. The Braves up 5-0. Jair Jurgens has set down the first 9 he has faced, coming off a 1-hit shutout against Baltimore. And again, the Braves have a real nice run going when they score 5 runs for their pitching staff. And I say that as I'm looking it up, so I got to find it first. I know they've won 14 straight and 25 of their last 26 when they score 5 runs. And this year they're 28-2 when they score 5 or more runs. Top of the order. And Blackman shows bunt. Grounded out to Ugla his first time up. 1 for 10 in the series. Two 2-0.
You know, that's another thing that I talk about a lot with Brian McCann, which has been under the radar, is how well he calls games. And starting rotation will tell you. He's very good at putting down the fingers that they're looking for.
Got to be that trust factor, and they certainly trust him, as they do David Ross. Full count. Five runs, 8 hits for Atlanta, including a 2-run homer by Chipper in the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits thus far for Colorado. No base runners. That's out of play. Tonight also an anniversary for Braves history. 25 years ago on this date, Bob Horner hit 4 home runs against the Montreal Expos. And the Braves lost.
Wow.
11-8. To first. Freeman will race to the bag. Better hurry because Blackman can run. And he won the race. 10 in a row set down by Jurgens.
Bob Horner he was so natural as a hitter. One of the stories I heard was he'd take batting practice. He'd go in and prop his feet up and fall asleep, and they would have to wake him up before game time. And he'd go out and hit 2 homers, come back in, prop his feet up, and go back to sleep.
That's relaxed. Jonathan Herrera hit the ball hard his first time up, but right to Eric Hinsky in right field. Horner was a special talent. I mean, he was a first-round pick out of Arizona State. First pick, I believe, in the draft that year, and came straight to the big leagues. He never played in the minors.
Yeah, amazing.
Slice to left. That's going to get down for a hit. McLouth over to get it. Herrera with a big turn, but Nate will hustle over and hold him to a single. And the first hit, the first base runner of the night for Colorado.
Good play by Nate McLouth over there. Hasn't really played much left field until this season, and looks like he's made the adjustments out there pretty quickly.
That'll bring up Todd Helton. And he lines one to left, but right at McLouth. Hit that ball hard. 2 down. Todd Helton had something happen to him. Talking about close calls. In 1998, he led all rookies, major league rookies, in batting average, 315, homers, 25, RBIs, 97, multi-hit games, total bases, slugging percentage, and extra base hits. But he was not the rookie of the year.
And we talked about him being legit even though playing in Denver. And his splits are just as good on the road as they are at his home ballpark.
He finished 9 points behind Kerry Wood. Alex Gonzalez has that get under his glove. Herrera's going to race to third. And they're on the corners with 2 out. Alex got to that one. No, not quite, did he?
Yeah, just under the glove there. That's a tough play. You have to go a long way for that one.
Second hit of the inning, I'm assuming. And Seth Smith will be the batter. What was the call?
Gave him an error.
Fielder's choice at an E6. Are you kidding me?
Well, they give him the error since the runner went to third, which makes no sense.
Well,
so it should have been a hit.
Should have just been a hit. He goes to third on the hit, and the fact the ball got off the webbing of his glove, it's not like it went into his glove and out. He just didn't get to it.
I'm thinking that one's going to get changed.
I hope so. Braves have gone 8 straight games without making an error. I hardly think that's one worthy of snapping that streak. Bad scoring decision there. 2-1 to count to Smith. And Nate McLeod's been a busy man this inning. He's under that one. He'll make the catch to end the inning. Rockies leave him on the corners. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Fan of the game, maybe the littlest one here at the ballpark tonight. Maybe just get some cotton candy wrapped around that. Good shape.
Making sure that Passy doesn't get away.
Yeah. Man trying to look at the scoreboard to see if they're going to change that to 2 hits.
So am I.
Me too. Jair Jurgens leads off for Atlanta in the 4th. Rounded out his first time up.
Joe, you mentioned the Rockies losing their last five road games, and they've been outscored 34-14 in those games.
Yikes. Playable for Helton in foul territory. One out in the Braves' fourth.
You're not scoring runs on the road, and you're not pitching. Nothing good's going to happen.
No. Jordan Schaefer's had a good night already. He's had an at-bat in each of the first 2 innings of the game. He tripled and scored in the first and singled in the second. An infield hit after Herrera couldn't get to his feet in time and throw him out. Pulls the infield in again with threat of a bunt.
Now slap it by him.
Good cut. Put in the hole 0-2.
I'm not sure if Cook's trying to elevate those pitches, but I've seen more pitches up in the strike zone from him than I have in the past.
Yeah, than ever. And again, Jordan trying to stay on the ball, fight it off, go the other way, and gets a piece of that one.
You're talking about that ring finger, and he really needed to pull down on some of those sliders and sinkers, and might have an effect on him still. Once you break a finger like that, it doesn't grow back exactly straight again, does it?
Mine didn't.
Has to make a difference.
1-2 the count. Depending on where the break was on the release point, you know that it's still aggravating him to some extent. Curveball hit off the end of the bat. Stewart right there. He'll throw him out. 2 down. And Alex Gonzalez, the batter, singled, drove in a run, and scored one in the first. And bounced into a fielder's choice to end the second. We had that shot of Alex in the dugout. He had kind of a smile on his face as his teammates were coming over to talk to him about that scoring in the top half of the inning. About all he could do was laugh.
I'm sure a couple of them just told him that's got to be changed. I'm sure it will be.
Back to the screen, 1-2. Braves are 10-10 against the National League West. The Rockies are 7-7 against the National League East. One-handed sharply to third. Another nice play by Stewart. He's had a nice night defensively at third. Hangs in there and gets Alex. And the Braves are down in order for the first time tonight. Time for our AT&T U-verse trivia question answer. Wanting to know, when was the last time the National League had a catcher and pitcher start the All-Star game from the same team, and who are they? I'm thinking Mike Piazza was one of the guys, and I'm going to go with Pedro Martinez as his battery mate. I can't remember.
It has to be especially the catcher that's been around a while. So I'm thinking maybe Pudge and Beckett when they were in Florida.
Well, I got the right catcher.
Yeah, you did.
And the wrong team. I was thinking Mets.
Dale Nomo.
This is rookie season, too. Mark Ellis takes a strike. Fly to center his first time. It's another one of those guys. He doesn't look like a very big guy, Ron, but he's strong.
Very strong. He had a lot of home runs in Oakland, and that's a ballpark that you really have to get into one to get it out, especially at night. And he hit his fair share there. He doesn't have 4 arms. He's got 6 arms.
Very nice. Good breaking ball, 2-2. So where does that leave you?
Well,
like an octopus, octo arms. I don't know.
Another category.
Yes. Just missed with a sinker and a change up there. Full count. Ellis, Stewart, and Pagnazzi here in the 5th. Braves up 5-0. We got 3 in the first, and then 2 in the third on a homer by Chipper.
I think part of the reason why Mark Ellis is now a Rocky is he's had his fair share of injury problems the last couple seasons out in Oakland. And I think they were just looking for a change, and it was a great pickup by Colorado.
To third, Chipper waits on the good hop. Gets rid of it quickly, one away. Chopper to Chipper, and he handles it. Ian Stewart, the batter, he popped to second his first time. He has hit a home run off of Jurgens in his career, 4 for 19 now.
So this is his 3rd stint with the Major League club this season.
Hard to figure how a guy like this can struggle, but then you can talk to Dan Uggla and he could tell you.
Well, it's kind of mind-boggling because you figure you're going to get your numbers hitting at Coors Field. But he just didn't have an idea of the strike zone there.
Well, let me give you a comparison. Jair Jurgens is 0 for 2 tonight. That makes him 3 for 35 on the year. Okay, Jair's 3 for 35. This guy is 3 for 51. That'll be in the seats. 2-2.
I've struggled before, but never to that extent. That's got to be tough on him. I know it. Going back to the minors, trying to reinvent your swing, and you got all these things going through your head. But
especially to have it happen right at the beginning of the season. Just impossible to try to cover that up as you go along. Stays alive with that one. Good cut at that. Still 2-2.
Putting up a fight against Jair, making him throw some pitches.
Carney Lansford is their hitting coach. Certainly a terrific player in his career. He won a batting title while with Oakland.
Career batting average well over 300. Didn't hit for a lot of power, but
no, but he could just flat out hit.
yes, he could.
Driven to right and deep, but foul. Stewart 6'3", 215. 26 years old, out of Asheville, North Carolina. In the air to center and deep. Jordan Schaefer going back. He looks up. This is off the base of the wall. And a very good at bat for Ian Stewart. Results in a long double to center.
Well, Jair decides, I'm not going to walk him. He's going to have to hit his way on. He's got a 5-run lead. Just go right after him and see if he'd get himself out.
And this just across the wire. Breaking news out of the press box. Scoring change. I believe that's what they said. No error charge to Alex Gonzalez. And give a hit to Ty Wigginton, as it should have been.
That's the correct call.
Pagnazzi struck out looking his first time up. He swings and misses there. Oh, and 2.
So the errorless streak continues.
Right. How many, Hal? 76. That's the spirit. 76 innings. Tried to get him to chase something upstairs, and he laid off.
Good, clean games. That's exactly what Atlanta's been doing. We always talk about pitching and defense wins championships. And right now, Atlanta's doing both, as well as that offense starting to come around.
To right field, that might get down. It will. And it'll play to run. Pagnazzi rounds first, but he'll hold there. And Stewart comes home to score, and the Rockies are on the board. And that ends Jair's scoreless string at 16 1/3 innings. Second RBI for Pagnazzi, who goes the other way. And Aaron Cook will hit for himself. Struck out his first time. He's going to bunt and pulls it back, and they just about pick Pagnazzi off. And it worked out there between McCann and Ugla.
Brian McCann trying to catch him sneaking off a little too far there. If you're the runner at first base, there's no way you want to run yourself out of an inning, so stay close.
He's running now, and then they chop it through the hole. Nice piece of hitting there by Aaron Cook as they beat the Atlanta defense. Took the bunt off and put on the chop swing, and Cook has a base hit, and they're on the corners.
Well, offensively, if you can't get anything going, you'll try anything if you're a manager, and Jim Tracy pulls the right string here and calls for the old fake butt hit and run there, and it works for him.
Beautiful execution. Hoping now the top of the order can do something with this situation. A run in, they're on the corners, one out. Blackman is grounded out twice. Sends one in the air to left center, not very deep. McLeod under it. Runner tags, but he'll hold it third. And Nate gets it in quickly with a good throw. The outfielders were out early today just by themselves, making throws to all the bases. So that practice paid off there. 2 out.
Yeah, the Braves outfielders are very aggressive out there. They charge the ball well. They can run them down, like I mentioned earlier. Nate McLeod, a very strong throwing arm, throws a strike into the cutoff man and throws the runner at third there.
Jonathan Herrera had the first hit of the night for the Rockies, a single his last time up. He's 1 for 2 and 4 for 8 in the series. Catcher running at third, the pitcher running at first. Two and 0.
A couple pitches up in the strike zones. Jerry might kind of rethink things for a second and get back on track.
Good pitch on the corner.
Yeah, more like it right there.
Two and 1 the count. Up the middle, Alex to his left, has it, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. But the Rockies break through. They get a run on 3 hits. They leave a couple. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Braves up by 4. The Atlanta Braves. And we welcome you back to the bottom of the 5th inning. Atlanta on top 5-1. Heart of the order up there for Atlanta. McCann, Chipper, and Freeman. Against Aaron Cook, who is finishing his warm-ups after being left on base. Young and old here at the park tonight. A night that's a little more bearable weather-wise than what we've been having. Braves have won 7 out of 8 and 12 out of 15. Marlins have gotten within a couple of Philadelphia tonight after 4 innings. Phillies lead 5-3. But really, Ron, the Braves are doing just what they ought to be doing. Just keep winning. Just keep playing hard, playing good baseball. Keep winning and let the rest of it take care of itself.
Yeah, well, you know, I just mentioned I like what I'm seeing with the Braves offense, and we know all year long the pitching staff's been wonderful. Starters and the bullpen, one of the best bullpens arguably in all of baseball. If they continue to string along innings, driving in runs, they're going to hang right there with the Phillies to the end. Make it very interesting.
Ryan McCann's had a perfect night. 2 for 2, a double, a single, 2 runs scored. Also driven one in. He'll ground out here, 1 away. And Chipper Jones comes to the plate. Here's what he did in the 3rd inning.
Chipper gets a pitch on the outer half of the plate. His mind thought is go up there and hit the ball the other way against a sinker ball pitcher. Aaron Cook elevates one on the outside part, and Chipper just stays with it and drives it over the left field fence down the foul pole line there.
Just cleared the wall.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
enough.
Just so strong. I mean, you got to be really balanced at the plate to drive the ball out like that on a line the other way.
444th career homer. And his 2nd career homer off Aaron Cook. Two and one. Again the other way and well hit, but that one will be into the seats foul. 2 and 2. You keep pitching Chipper to the outer third. The way he drives down and threw the ball left-handed, he's going to hit another one.
I was sitting here thinking the same thing, and it's scary for a pitcher to try to come in, which is what they're going to try to do here.
And it worked. Chipper chased a bad ball, and he's out of there on strikes. Good pitch by Cook. And that's his first strikeout of the night. Freddie Freeman doubled his last time up right after Chipper's homer. He hit a shot to third his first time up that Stewart snagged on a short hop. And then his double was down the third base line. He's at 275.
And he has been hot over his last 15 games. 320 with 5 homers and 13 RBI. A lot of big RBIs.
Third on the team in homers behind McCann's 14 and Uggla's 13. He's got 12. There's that one to first and hit the bag, but Helton stayed with it, and he'll throw him out. Nice play by the Rockies' first baseman. An athletic play there, reacting to that funny hop off the base. Braves retired in order again. Go to the 6th. game summary. A lot of A's on top of caps there. Good start for the Braves tonight, Ron.
Yeah, started right there in the first inning with 3 runs. See Chipper with that 2-run homer. Jordan Schaefer setting the table for the rest of the guys, and of course Brian McCann. He's been consistent all year long, but Jair Jurgens struggled a little bit that last half inning, but it's been pretty good for the Braves tonight, though.
And he'll get Todd Helton here to lead off the 6th. Helton is 0 for 2, lined out his last time up. Mentioned the great numbers he had as a rookie and still didn't win the Rookie of the Year award. Kerry Wood edged him by 9 votes. But that's not the only close call he's had. He won a batting title back in 2000. He hit .372. And then in 2003, the closest batting race in National League history. And he lost the batting title by 22 ten-thousandths of a point to Albert Pujols.
What was that, like half a hit or something? That's amazing.
Unbelievable. The last day, Pujols went 2 for 5. Helton was 2 for 4. And in his last at bat, with a chance to get a hit and win the title, he was intentionally walked.
Well, I talked about his splits between road and home, and he's hitting .319 at home with 141 at bats, and .316 on the road with 117 at bats. So it's almost split right down the middle.
Ty Wigginton, a base hit in the 4th inning, 1 for 2. Todd Helton, who used to run some, hardly ever runs anymore. He's only made 1 attempt to steal a base and was caught stealing. He has a very short lead. And the walk to Helton, the first of the night, issued by Jurgens. Foul territory down by the tarp. Freddie lost it, found it, but out of play.
It's that time of the night you'll see all the infielders point up on fly balls. That twilight time where it's hard to see the ball, especially for an outfielder.
Two and two.
You know, I've talked about that before, playing the outfield when it gets this time of the night. And the best way I could explain it is when the ball's hit and it goes up, instead of looking like the size of a baseball, it looks more like a golf ball out there, and it's just hard to find.
Back through Jair's legs, but backhanded by Agla, and then he lost control of the baseball trying to flip it to second. They'll score at a base hit. Wigginton's had 2 of those tonight.
He fills it cleanly, but he just couldn't get it out of his gloves. Trying to rush it to Alex Gonzalez over there.
So the Rockies have something cooking here. First 2 runners reach, and Seth Smith, the batter, he's flied to left twice. Got good power. He's hitting an even 300 as he stands there. Takes ball 1.
Smith, last 27 home runs in his career have been off right-handed pitching. He's pretty dangerous if you're Jair right now.
Big cut. Came up empty, 1-1. Gearin and Sherrill begin to loosen up in the Atlanta pen. Last night, the Braves had to use their bullpen for 3 2/3 innings.
They were outstanding last night.
Freddie Gonzalez hoping to get a few more innings out of Jair to save the pen some tonight. Another big cut by Smith, and he had a good one to hit there and missed it. 1-2. A walk and an infield hit. 2 on, nobody out. Out of play.
This guy's a tough out. He has a real good idea of the strike zone up there, and he's fighting off some pretty tough pitches.
Well, I've always liked him, and he's always done a good job for them off the bench. Seemed like there was always somebody in front of him, like Brad Hopp when he was going good, where he didn't really have any place to play. And now he's getting that opportunity. .335 at bats in 09. He hit .293. 358 at bats in 2010. He hit just under .250. 32 homers total over those 2 years. Another 1-2 pitch. Oh boy, where'd that get McCann?
In a better place than it did last night.
Yeah. Off the arm.
Another good pitch there. You can do it if you can.
I'll be getting tired of that, though.
Yeah.
Too much time taken by the pitcher getting the sign, so Smith stepped out, and that'll give Brian a chance to get together with Jair to see what he wants to do here.
I know they've tried everything. I know he wants to get a ground ball, but he's going to have to keep it down.
And he did, but too low, and the count 2-2. There's a chance that Carlos Gonzalez will play tomorrow. I'm going to test him out in the morning, find out if he's okay to go. Tulowitzki still a question mark. Tulowitzki started game 1 of this series, but strained a quadricep muscle running to first. He's been out since. To first, foul ball. As called down there by Scott Berry.
That ground ball he's looking for, just needs it in fair territory.
And needs it hit a little sharper than that.
You're talking about Carlos Gonzalez, and since Jim Tracy had moved him to the leadoff spot, with a minimum of 100 plate appearances, he had the highest on-base percentage at .441.
And that really got him going.
Yeah, that's all of baseball.
Putting him in the leadoff spot kind of changed his whole approach, and he caught fire. But now out of the lineup after just an awful collision with the wall at Coors Field that sprained both wrists and bruised ribs. They miss him a lot. Miss Tulowitzki, of course. 2-2 pitch popped up. Can anybody see it? Chipper can, and he'll make the catch. 1 out. And another tough out. Mark Ellis comes to the plate. He is flied out and grounded to Chipper at third base.
I was going to say, Jair, he won that battle, but it was a tough one. Big out there.
Roger McDowell to the mound.
I don't think Roger went out there other than for the reason to give him a little bit of a blow. That was, like I said, a tough battle. He threw a lot of pitches to Smith that at bat. So let him catch his breath a little bit before he starts the next hitter.
Corey Blazer allows them a chance to finish their chat. And now Ellis will bat with one out. Runners at first and second. Three homers, 23 RBIs combined between Oakland and Colorado. Runners are going. They'll throw down to the trailing runner and get him again. Second time on this homestand, the Braves have pulled that one off. Actually, I think that happened in Seattle's where it happened, not on the homestand. They got Ty Wiggins in tonight. Great job by the defense.
You know, and that's a smart play, throwing behind the runner that's going to third, because a lot of times that runner at first base is waiting to see and make sure that the runner at second has gotten the sign and he's going to take off. So he might get a little bit of a late break waiting for the other guy to go.
Brian had just given everybody the signals, too, as to what he was going to do if the runners broke. So everybody was on the same page. 2 outs, runner at third for Ellis. 2-0 the count.
And boy, did McCann throw a strike down there. That was on the money.
It was Adam Kennedy that he threw out in Seattle when the Mariners tried a double steal. 3-0. He walked him. Second walk of the inning and of the game for Jurgens. He's up to 106 pitches. Got off to a quick start. Jair retired the first 10 in a row, but it's been hard work for him since.
Yeah, can't help but to talk about that last start where he threw a complete game. Complete game shutout, and have a little bit of a lingering effect.
94 pitches in that 9-inning affair. Stewart just doubled his last time up last inning off the base of the center field wall and on for the downs there. Out of play to even the count. Excuse me, make it 0-2. Fans come to life. Good crowd here tonight. And he grounds one up the middle. Alex to his left has it, throws on the run, inning over. Good job of damage control there for Jurgens as he leaves a couple more on base. Rockies have stranded 6. on top, and fans, day game tomorrow, so play hooky from work. Bring your clients, co-workers, or family to Turner Field tomorrow afternoon and see the Braves against the Rockies at 1 o'clock. It's the Braves SunTrust Business Fan Special, and fans that buy tickets at Braves.com/sickday can save up to 37% off and pay as little as $10 for a great seat. For details, visit Braves.com/sickday. Fans tonight have taken advantage of the 2 for Wednesday special, the Toyota 2 for Wednesday. They have pretty much filled up that outfield pavilion from pole to pole tonight. Smart folks and good seats.
A pretty good crowd overall tonight.
Eric Hinsky will try to put one in those seats here as he leads off the 6th. He has singled in a run. He's grounded out. That ground out moved a runner over from 2nd to 3rd.
You know, that's always something I would bring up. If you had no outs and a runner at second base and you got the job done and got that runner to third, why did the sacrifice? You're giving yourself up to get him over there. If a pitcher bunts him over there, it's a sacrifice.
Sure it is.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Good. A good one, too. You ought to be rewarded in some fashion for getting a job done like that. Up the middle, base hit. Hit that one right on the button. Eric's got his second hit. Getting a start tonight in right field just to get some at-bats according to Freddie Gonzalez, and he's made the most of it. He's 2 for 3. That will get the Colorado bullpen busy. Dan Ugla has grounded sharply into a force play and walked. Third walk in a game and a half.
Some really good at bats.
Couldn't lay off that pitch, and it's 0-1. But you know what? I mean, you take victories where you get them. That wasn't one of those one-handed ways. I mean, he was trying to stop his swing, kept both hands on the bat.
He guessed wrong there. He was looking for a fastball and got a good hard slider, but again, you do that when you're not seeing it well.
Cued that one right off the end of the bat. 0-2. Rex Brothers, the hard-throwing lefty, begins to loosen up. Pagnazzi chat with Cook. He may have been instructed to do that by his dugout. Oh, and 2 to Ugla with Nate McLouth on deck. Braves trying to add to their 5-1 lead. Toward the hole, base hit on an 0-2 count. Dan Ugla has his first hit of the evening. They're at first and second, nobody out for Nate.
This is exactly what I mean, Joe. This is an 0-2 pitch, and this pitch has got to be in the dirt to see if Dan Ugla will chase it out of the strike zone, and it's elevated in the strike zone on the outer half of the plate. That's just a mistake pitch by Aaron Cook.
But I'm with you, Ron. I don't ever remember seeing Aaron Cook make this many mistakes up in the zone as he has tonight, and that's going to end his night. Jim Tracy's going to go get his left-hander, and Aaron Cook will be out after 5+ innings. After giving up 5 runs on 10 hits and a couple of runners on base that belong to him. And he'll make way for Rex Brothers, who makes his 15th appearance.
I mentioned that Rex Brothers throws pretty hard, and most of the guys coming out of that Rockies bullpen are good hard throwers, very aggressive out of the bullpen.
He worked here in game 1, 2/3 of an inning. Walked 2, but also struck out 2. He's out of Lipscomb College. And from the same hometown in Tennessee, Chapel Hill, Tennessee, is Braves pitcher Mike Minor. In fact, they're the same age. So without having talked to Mike, I'm assuming they were high school teammates. Not bad. Not a bad lefty-lefty combo. Another scoring change on the play in the top half of the inning. It was bounced up the middle that Dan Ugla gloved but couldn't toss cleanly to short. They're going to change that to a fielder's choice and an error, so the errorless streak does come to an end. And I agree with that call too. Nate shows bunt and ducks out of the way. So Ty Wigginton's been involved in some calls and changes tonight. One and 0 to Nate, who's grounded out twice, once into a double play. Shows bunt again and ducks out of the way again. Jason Hayward has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle.
Well, that's been a problem with some of the guys coming out of the bullpen for the Rockies, is having problems getting strike one.
When he came in game 1 in relief of Ubaldo Jimenez, he walked the first batter he faced that outing. That was Dan Ugla. Hinske led off the inning with a base hit up the middle. Ugla just singled to left on an 0-2 count. Now the 2-0 to McLeod. Make it 3-0. Throw as hard as you want, but if you can't throw it over that little pentagon, it doesn't matter much.
That's right. That's the object, isn't it?
Hat off, steam flowing. And Nate was taken all the way, 3-1. Corners are in, still anticipating a bunt. He is bunting, and again has to duck out of the way. Ball 4, and they're loaded. Bob Apodaca wearing out the grass on his way to the mound again. And Jason Hayward will pinch hit for Jurgens against the left-handed pitcher. Jurgens went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 1 run. Walked a couple and struck out 2. Sometimes this Jason pinch hit. See that he's 0 for 4 this year with the bases loaded, but a .250 average for his career. This is Jason's first pinch hit appearance of the season. And it comes with a sax full of Braves.
Well, I know if I'm Rex Brothers and I see how far he's standing off that plate, I'm going to try to come inside on it.
And he does with a breaking ball. 1-0.
That's a pretty good ways off the plate there, which means you have to go dive in there to get those pitches off the plate away.
Up the middle. Rockies were playing for a double play. They'll concede a run. 2 outs, a run across, and it's 6-1. Six, 4-3 on the double play.
And no RBI for Jason Hayward there.
Second double play turned by the Rockies. With the Braves lead back up to 5. And Jordan Schaefer a chance to add to that. He can get a 2-out knock. Ugla at third. Schaefer tonight 2 for 3. He has tripled and singled. And he does line one up the middle, base hit. Boy, he's had some good swings tonight, Ron, and stayed inside of that one against the left-handed pitcher and picks up his 6th RBI, and the Braves are up 7-1 on another 2-out RBI hit.
Yeah, Jordan Schaefer, we were talking to him in batting practice, and he said he was going to stay up the middle of the field facing a sinker baller. And what does that help him do? He gets a tough left-hander, and he stays right in there and lines it right up the middle. I'm
really
telling you,
stayed level, too.
I'm telling you, if I'm Jordan Schaefer, from now on the rest of the year, I'm taking batting practice just like I did today.
You betcha. Alex Gonzalez 1 for 3. He's driven in a run and scored 1. Next ball 1. 96 in that fastball from Brothers. .97 on that one. Brothers was a supplemental first-round pick. 34th overall in 09. Jordan Schaefer running. Pagnozzi's throw. Not in time. Jordan Schaefer's got his 11th stolen base.
Oh, this is a facet of the game that I love to see. Be able to use your speed, put pressure on the defense, put pressure on the outfield, pressure on the pitcher to throw strikes.
Another runner in scoring position for the Braves. 1-2 the count. And Alex chased a bad ball, but Pagnozzi will have to throw him out. He does, and the inning comes to an end, but the Braves add to their lead. They put 2 more on the board. And we go to the 7th. 7-1 Atlanta. The 7th inning, and Atlanta will make the AT&T call to the bullpen. With Jurgens out of there, the call will go to Scott Linebrink, who makes his 40th appearance of the year. 3-1 with a 3.44 ERA.
Scott, good two-seam sinker and ground ball pitcher. Only time he gets himself in trouble is when he elevates, but some solid innings out of the bullpen for him.
One other defensive change for Atlanta. Jason Hayward stays in the game, and he'll play right field, staying in the 9th spot in the order. And Linebrink will bat in Henske's spot. Pagnazzi, a pinch hitter for the pitcher, and then Blackman for the Rockies. Ryan Spilborghs has a bat in the on-deck circle for Colorado. Pagnazzi's 1 for 2 tonight. Late on that 94 fastball, 0-1.
Scott earned his 6th hold of the season on Saturday night against Baltimore. Gave up a home run in that game. It was his first. It was against Washington, or it was the first since Washington on 5/11. But since then, he's been pretty good.
He's 1-1 now to Pagnazzi. And pounding that fastball in there with a 6-run lead, and it's 1-2. Rockies are on a 7-day, 7-game road trip, taking them right into the All-Star break. They go from here to Washington to take on the Nationals. Then the Braves see them shortly after the break. Atlanta plays Colorado 8 times this month. The only time they see them all year. They kind of jam together this 4-game series. And then 4 at Coors Field beginning the 18th. Off the glove of Linebrink. Ugla will have to barehand and hurry. And oh, Freddie had it all stretched out, but his foot was off the bag. That would have been spectacular.
Yeah, good play by Dan Ugla here. Barehands it. It's a tough play, but just couldn't get the throw right on the money. And you mentioned it, Joe. Freddie makes a long stretch there, but just couldn't corral it.
And I see the ball came loose, too. I didn't realize that. That's what the umpire was pointing at. So an infield hit for Pagnazzi. He's 2 for 3, and Ryan Spilborgh's the batter. Struck out last night as a pinch hitter. Hitting .221 for the year with a couple of homers. Final line on Jair Jurgens tonight. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Aaron Cook, 5 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, gave up a homer to Chipper. Phillies 6-5 over Florida. Top of the 7th. Two and 2. Oh. If the umpire flinched when it looked like the runner might go.
My, oh my. I believe this is a strike all night long. Absolutely.
Goodness. Corey Blazers had a good night back there behind the plate, but might have missed that one. Didn't matter. Good comeback by Langbrink. One out. Now, if you want to have something to look forward to and to think about, Braves could be in first place by the All-Star break. If Florida can come back and win tonight, the Braves hang on and win here, there'll be 3 out. Florida's idle tomorrow. Braves could win tomorrow, cut it to 2.5, go in and sweep the Phillies in Philadelphia and be in first place. There you go.
Sounds like a pretty good plan to me.
All right, thank you. Blackman the batter. Braves currently 4 out. And 15 games over 500, their high water mark of the year so far. In the air to center. Schaefer broke back, now comes in. 2 down. Blackman's 0 for 4 and 1 for 13 in the series. And here's Herrera, who's 1 for 3 tonight. And if you think my theory is pie in the sky about going into Philly and sweeping them, consider that they went into Seattle and swept the Mariners with 3 outstanding pitchers going: Bedard, Pineda, and Felix Hernandez.
I don't think it's far-fetched.
Thank you. Write it down.
And I'm telling you, that bullpen has its issues. Their offense hasn't been clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, if you can get their bullpen, and it's not easy. But the way they like to, their proficiency for complete games from Halladay and Lee, the Braves will see both of them. 1-2. But first things first, got to finish this one off tonight and deal with the Rockies again tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Tim Hudson against Juan Nicasio. Out of play. Good fastball there from Linebrink. 95. Bringing it tonight.
He's throwing strikes too, and as a position player, you got to lead and get a guy coming out of the bullpen. You just want to see him throw strikes. You don't want to give that other team anything.
In the dirt. Did he go? He did not.
Good try, though. Bounce one, see if the young hitter will chase it.
2-2 with 2 out. Fast runner, tough play, and he'll reach. The only chance there was for Chipper to glove that and throw it on the run, but Linebrink got in the way.
Yeah, this is the old tweener, and you see Linebrink, after he throws that pitch, he ends up on the first base side of the mound and tries to retract. It's a glove on it, but just out of reach. I'm sure if Chipper would have got him anyway. Hey, he gave him an error.
Oh, come on. What's going on over there tonight? Good grief. Here's Helton. Crying out loud. You're right, Hal.
Obviously, He's never tried to field one of those balls in a game before.
One and one to Helton. 0 for 2 with a walk. McCann, backhanded block of that one. 2 and 1.
You know, I really do believe that when McCann went on that diet and lost a little bit of that weight, it's actually helped him block balls because he's quicker back there. I mean, he's really blocking balls well this season.
Oh, what a cut by Helton. 2 and 2. I agree with you, Ron, and Brian admitted he wore down, at the end of the year last year, carrying that extra weight. Two on, two out, 2 and 2 to Helton. Good pitch.
A little tight with the strike zone back there.
Just missed.
Wow. Could have been in just a little bit, but that's a
little in.
Close pitch there, and the veteran's always going to get benefit of the doubt.
Runners will be going. They're moving. All 4. Bases loaded. First walk for Linebrink. And they're loaded for Ty Wigginton. Pagnozzi reached on a base hit off the glove of Linebrink that Ugla made a great play on, just couldn't quite get it there in time. And then Herrera with a tapper that should have been a hit, but was scored an error off the pitcher's glove. And now a walk. Ball hasn't left the infield, but they're loaded. And Wigginton is 1 for 3. He had an infield hit. That was originally called an error. 0-1.
The Rockies are hitting 139 with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Make that drop a couple more points.
Wigginton was looking for that time, but he got crossed up. And he's in the hole now, 1 and 2. He might like to have that pitch back.
Absolutely. Look fastball until you get 2 strikes.
Curveball, I got it there and pulled it foul. Through that one. 2 and 2.
All he needs is a ground ball. Don't have to try to strike him out.
Yeah, make him put it in play. You got a nice lead here. Two pitch. Struck him out. 95 gas. And the Rockies leave them loaded. They have stranded 9 runners tonight. 7th inning stretch time. All Braves tonight.
Yeah, you got to like what you see out of Jordan Schaefer at the top of the order. He's 3 for 4 with a triple, RBI and a run scored. And Chipper is 444th career home run in the third. Good solid performance. So, Braves are chipping in with runs all up and down the lineup tonight also.
And the new pitcher for Colorado is a former member of the Braves organization. Right-hander Matt Belisle, who's now 6'4", 225. He's out of Austin, Texas. 31 years old. He was the second-round pick by the Braves back in 1998, but that was their first pick. They had lost their first-round pick due to signing a free agent. And he's found a home in Colorado. He's pitched real well for them over the last 2 years. Also has a lot of big league time with Cincinnati. Switches defensively for Colorado. Spielborg stays in the game. He's in left field, and Wigginton moves to first. And Todd Helton out of the game. Belisle will bat in the third spot. Ryan McCann, 2 hits tonight. 2 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and a couple of runs scored. Tough there getting a piece of that. My recollection on Matt Belisle was that he was projected to be a first-round pick that year in '98, but he hurt his knee in high school and slipped to the second round. The Braves were real excited to get him. Check swing. Did he go? He did, says Laz Diaz, and McCann is out of there. He knew it.
I can see why the Braves were high on him. That was a real good pitch by Belisle there. Good hard breaking slider. Still throws hard.
You bet. Chipper's had a good night. 1 for 3, a 2-run homer back in the third inning. To the opposite field, it just cleared the left field wall. Belisle had to undergo arm surgery in 2001, Tommy John surgery, and then he was traded to Cincinnati in 2003 in a deal that brought Kent Merker back to Atlanta. Three and 1 to Chipper. Ropes one to right field, and deep on the run Smith, who stops and makes a basket catch. Second out of the inning, and that ball was smoked.
Ball was hit very hard, but it looked like it had a lot of topspin on it. That's the reason why Smith kind of overran that ball and ended up having to make a basket catch.
Freddie Freeman tonight. A double in 3 trips. Pitcher spot due up next. Brooks Conrad is out in the unmarked circle. Seven runs on 11 hits for Atlanta tonight. 1 run, 6 hits for the Rocks. 0-2 to Freddie. Belisle's come in throwing BBs. And how about those fish? Tied it up.
Your plan is coming to fruition already, Joe.
I think it's a good plan, really.
I do too. I'm with you.
Change up. Freddie got a piece of that one.
Well, you mentioned it. Florida's probably in that bullpen.
The 0-2 to Freeman. pull to right field. I don't know how he hit that pitch. It almost hit him, but he hits it to the warning track. Good grief. Strong kid. Braves down in order. We go to the 8th. They lead by 6. Sherrill to work the 8th. George came in to work a third of an inning last night, brought in the 6th inning to pitch to Ian Stewart and struck him out. His ERA getting better too, Ron. He's been given more and more responsibilities in some tough spots.
I believe he's kind of been one of the guys that's been overlooked in the bullpen as far as how well the bullpen's been, but he's been a huge part of it. You have 3 really tough left-handers coming out of your bullpen. That's a real asset. And he's definitely done the job.
And he faces the left-handed hitter here to start the 8th, Seth Smith, who greets him with a base hit to center. He has his first hit of the night, 1 for 4.
Kind of fought that one off. It was actually on the inner half of the plate. Got jammed a little bit, but good things happen when you stay inside the baseball, and it's not a bad thing to get jammed every once in a while.
Got some folks cheering for him down below. He's born in Jackson, Mississippi, lives in Brandon, Mississippi now. Mark Ellis, 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Slider for a strike, 1-1. We were talking some today, Ron, about guys in position in the box where they stand. Mark Ellis is way up in the front of the box, something you don't see too often.
With an open stance. Yeah, guys nowadays are more in the back of that box, and I feel like if the further back they are, it gives them more time to see the baseball. But Terry Pendleton won a batting title one year up in the batter's box, just like Mark Ellis there. His philosophy was catch it before it starts breaking.
It's a good plan. Good plan on some of those sinker ballers too before it drops out of sight. Slide step, bouncer up the middle. Alex steps on the bag, throws to first. Easiest double play in the world right there. First one turned by Atlanta tonight.
Yeah, good pitch by George Sherrill, trying to get that ground ball. And Again, he's pitching inside, and that's the reason why he's getting the guys inside part of the plate and get that ground ball there.
And another left-handed hitter here, Ian Stewart. Doubled and scored back in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. He's had some good swings tonight. For a guy who came into the game trying to fight his way out of a 3 for 50 start to his season.
Yeah, I talked about some of his adjustments earlier. You see the hands lower, a little bit wider stance, and an open stance too. He decided to open up, see if he could get both eyes on the baseball. Taking some pretty good swings so far.
Until that one. And George Sherrill is very appreciative. Sherrill has a good inning. It's a double play ball and a strikeout. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Pitcher spot due up. Their good offense tonight started by that man, Jordan Schaefer, and it's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Good play by Jordan Schaefer. The outfield had him played, shaded over towards left field, and he hits a ball straight away center, the right side of the bag. And you know, if it gets by that outfielder, more times than none, he's going to end up at third base.
New hard ball chunker out there for the Rockies, Rafael Betancourt. Tough customer. Braves fans having a good time tonight as the Braves have pounded out 11 hits and are up 7-1. Betancourt worked here 2 nights ago and had a perfect inning.
Another hard thrower.
Now he's better than that ERA that he's got posted right now.
Yeah, and batting average against him.
Pitcher spot due up first here for the Braves in the 8th inning. But instead of George Sherrill, it'll be Wilkin Ramirez, who has done a good job pinch hitting for Freddie Gonzalez since he got called up. He's 3 for 6. Had a base hit last night. Strong right-handed hitter, Wilkin Ramirez, and he can run too. Big cut. 0-1.
You know, batting average against Betancourt this season is up a little bit, but in his career, it's been hard on right-handers. Only hitting .215 against him.
Ramirez, Ugla, and McLouth here in the 8th. Up the middle. That's going to get through. Another pinch hit single for Wilkin Ramirez. He's 4 for 7 as a pinch hitter. Good work by Wilkin, coming off the bench again.
Yeah, you could see the confidence when he walks up to the plate. He feels like he's going to get a hit. And he's been really good off the bench for Atlanta. And again, we talked about these guys coming off the bench more times than none. They're going to be facing guys like Betancourt. Really tough on right-handers.
Dan Ugla tonight, 1 for 2 with a walk. Singled his last time up. Ground ball single through the left side on an 0-2 count. And he came around to score a run. Home run cut. He came up empty. Ugla 0 for 3 in his career against him with a couple of strikeouts. And he sends a drive to deep left. He's done it again, folks. Back-to-back nights. Couple of rockets. Look out. Dan Ugla's in the park again tonight.
Joe, you talked about it in the open. Did that radio interview today, and you got to like his attitude. I mean, he talked about how he loves playing here, loves the Braves fans, and said that he was him and he would boo me too. So good. You got to like his attitude. And he gets a fastball right down the middle from Betancourt. It's just a straight fastball, no movement at all on it. If you make a mistake in the middle of the plate, the way he's putting the ball, they have trouble.
That ball was blistered. 9-1.
But yeah, you have to like his attitude. I mean, he's not taking it too seriously. Yes, he wants to do well, and he knows that he's struggling, but I talked about it also. I think he's going to have a big second half.
That interview on the Braves flagship station, radio station, 680 The Fan, and he was very candid, saying, I have high expectations of myself. You know, the fans do too, so he does enjoy playing here, and he appreciates what the fans bring to the table at Turner Field.
Yeah, I know it's got to be exciting for a player to play 1 year and you're playing in front of 5,000 fans, and all of a sudden the next year you got 25,000 each night. I mean, it's just, it gets you excited very easily.
Ties him for the team lead in homers with McCann with 14. Best stretch for him of the year, in my opinion, in 2 games. 2 walks, a homer, and a double last night. A walk, a single, and a homer tonight in 4 plate appearances. Something to build on. 3-1 to Nate. Good cut, full count.
And that's something I've seen in Nate also. I mean, I know he's had his injury problems over the last couple of seasons and being able to get that batting average up there, but he has taken some really good at bats to the plate this season. A lot of it has to do with the health. We know how good he can play the outfield.
Full count. Got him looking. 93 on the outside corner. First out of the inning. And Jason Hayward, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning, up there again. He hit into a double play with the bases loaded, nobody out, got a run in. 0 for 1 on the night. Jason puts a charge in one to center. And in comes Blackman. Did he make the catch? He did. What a diving effort by Charlie Blackman, who was playing extremely deep. He only had one place to go, and that was in.
Yeah, this is an outstanding play. It didn't seem like he got that great of a jump, but he stays with it and just picks it right off the turf.
Or did he? Oh. Or did he? Might have been a short hop.
I believe it was, Joe.
Wally Bell hustled out there as the base umpire. That could have gone as a hit quite easily. 2 outs for Jordan, who's had a good night too. He's 3 for 4. All 4 at bats. Good swings, good level cuts, not trying to lift the ball, and good results.
And he swiped the bag tonight also.
Gets that one off foul, 1-1. Still tied in Florida, 6-6. Phillies and Marlins, bottom of the 8th. Braves with 13 hits tonight. They lead 9-1. Good cut there, 1-2. Braves scored 10 runs June 25th in San Diego. This is the most runs since then. And tonight marks the first time Uggla has homered in back-to-back games since August of last year. Chopper off the plate. Tough play for Ellis. Charges, bobbles, can't make the play. Base hit. 4th hit of the night for Jordan, who already has a 5-hit night on his ledger.
Well, I was going to wait to score that.
Really, yeah.
The way it's been going tonight.
Exactly right.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier in the game, Joe, is as a leadoff hitter with speed, all you have to do is hit the ball on the ground. A lot of times good things are going to happen. And with his speed, you put that pressure on a guy trying to make a play. Doesn't come up cleanly with it.
And that's it. That with his speed, you put it in play like that, you don't have to put any pressure on the defense when you're striking out and popping up.
That's right.
It's a learning curve, but one that when you get some success doing it the right way for what the team needs you to do, you become so valuable.
Yeah, and I think the game is, we went through that whole period where it was just the long ball, and the game kind of got away from that. So it's good to see guys like Jordan Schaefer in the big leagues.
Alex is 1 for 4 tonight. Sends that one in the air to shallow right center. Blackman calling for it. He'll take it, and the inning is over. We go to the 9th. Braves comfortably ahead. And Dan Uggla looking good. One without biting your fingernails down to the quick. Braves up 9-1. They've pounded out 14 hits. And the Braves make the AT&T call to the bullpen once more. Scott Proctor will get an inning of work. He will face the bottom part of the order.
Freddie trying to give a couple of guys some days off and get Proctor some innings, and he's been pretty good. He's a good hard thrower. Gets himself in trouble also when he's up in the strike zone, so he needs to be around the knees also. Opponent's batting average against .218, so not too bad.
He'll face Pagnozzi, Spilborghs, and Blackman. Back with you 1 o'clock tomorrow. Ron and I'll have it for you on Peachtree TV here in the Atlanta metro area and Fox Sports South outside the Atlanta viewing area. Team Hudson is Juan Nicasio. Matt Pagnozzi's had a good night, 2 for 3. And it makes him 6 for 18 in the big leagues, hitting .333.
Braves bullpen, we can't say enough about them, but they lead the majors in strikeouts per innings pitch. Coming into tonight, they had 282 strikeouts before tonight's game in 274 2/3 innings.
They have 3 strikeouts tonight in 2 innings of work. 2 by Linebrink, 1 by Sherrill. Big hook, but it missed. 2-1.
You're talking about a power bullpen. You need a big strikeout. This is the team that can get it.
Held on by McCann there. 2-2.
I was talking to some of the Rockies reporters after the game last night, and they had asked some of the Rockies players about the Braves bullpen, and they just said it was just completely unfair.
So's that. Took a called third from Proctor at 96.
This is just a good old country hard fastball here, Joe. Right down the middle. Take a seat. But yeah, they were particularly talking about Venters, how he comes in and he's throwing 96. And Todd Helton said, man, you know, it's just so unfair to be able to have a 96-mile-an-hour fastball as a lefty and then have that really sharp slider which offsets it. He said he didn't have a chance last night.
Spilborghs struck out his first time up pinch hitting. Sends that one to right, and Hayward backpedals to make the catch. 2 down. And Charlie Blackman, one more chance to get a hit tonight. He's 0 for 4. Made a nice diving catch in the bottom of the 8th. Robbed Jason of a base hit. Like he might have caught it on the short hop, but either way, is called an out. A nice catch. Chopper to first. Freddie's got it, and he'll step on the bag, and that'll end the ball game. Braves bullpen with 3 more innings of shutout baseball, and the Atlanta offense really did a number tonight. From the first inning on, a lot of contributions up and down the lineup. And they blow out the Rockies 9-1 the final. Jordan Schaefer with 4 hits. McCann with 2, including a double. Chipper with a homer. Freddie Freeman had a double. 2 hits make it 3 hits out of that 6th spot. Hinsky had a couple, and so did Ramirez pinch hitting. And Dan Ugla again with 2 more hits, including a homer.
Yeah.
9-1 your final. Back with more after this.